Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I'm here with a somewhat unusual haul. I don't actually know what I have yet. I was watching Mary from With Cinnamon Please, who has a lovely channel by the way, and she did a video where she ordered some books from Blind Date with a Book, and she unboxed them on camera, and I thought that looked like a lot of fun. By the way, I will link Mary's video where I got the idea for this down below, as well as the website where I ordered these. Blind Date with a Book is when usually bookstores will do this, but obviously there's an online one too, and they'll wrap up books and they'll put just a few clues on the outside of it, and the whole idea is that you don't judge a book by its cover, and that you maybe pick up some things you'll enjoy that you wouldn't have picked up if you had gotten to see the cover and read the blurb and do research and everything like that. And I've always wanted to try that, but I haven't really come across a bookstore near me that has done that. So when Mary mentioned that there's an online shop that does this and I saw that they shipped internationally, I decided to try, and I think I picked out like 7 books because if I'm gonna pay for international shipping, I want to get my money's worth, right? I don't think that's exactly how that works, but that was the reasoning that I used. So there was an outer box that all of this came in, and then inside there's a package of all the books that says "Don't judge a book by its cover" on the outside. And then if we open the package, and then within that package, all of the books are individually wrapped with the little clues on the outside that made me interested in trying them. And another thing that's great about the website is they try really hard to do lesser known titles, so chances are you'll be getting a book that isn't something that you already have read or you already like own or know about. And I think that's really cool. You guys know I love underhyped books or underrated gems. And they also try to make the clues obvious or specific enough that if you have read the book, you'll be able to know that, and so you won't choose that book. And I think they also will exchange books with you if you end up with one that you've already read, which I think is really cool. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the books that I got. I'm really excited about this. So the first one that I ordered has all of these descriptors on it: carnivalesque, magical realism, liberation, elegant romp, and feathers. And this is what it looks like. They each come with this adorable little like twine wrapping and the little logo on it, and they each come with a bookmark too, which I think is so cute. Okay, good thing I got scissors just in case because this twine is very sturdy. Okay, and the book is Nights at the Circus by Angela Carter. Ooh, okay. So this is one of the vintage classic series, and I think Angela Carter is the one who wrote some books that my friend Jocelyn really likes. She does like weird kind of fairy tale-esque stories, which I'm very into. Oh, okay, so it looks like this woman is part woman, part swan. She gets tangled up with this search for love and identity. I don't know. This sounds really interesting. Also, like, what is it with magical realism and women or girls being like related to birds somehow, or having wings or turning into birds? I just think it's really interesting that that theme pops up so much, so I'm interested to read this. The next one I have, I had a very specific reason for choosing this one, and the descriptors are Lake Como, Strangers, Second Chances, Hope, and Chicklet. And the other things on this book did sound really interesting as well, but when I saw that it said Lake Como, I had to order it and see what it was because that's actually the part of Italy that my dad's family is from, and it's like a very specific area. Like, I don't read or see a lot of things that take place there, so I thought that would be really cool to try. So let's see what book this is. And this is Summer at the Lake by Erica James. This is a beautiful cover, by the way. Okay, so it looks like this is a book about 3 people who are kind of suffering in their love life or their personal life, and they end up going to Lake Como as kind of a way to distract them from their troubles. This sounds a little bit like what's that classic novel? I can't remember what it's called. I'll put a picture up, but I haven't read that yet, but I want to get to it. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. Once again, I just love this cover, and I'm really excited to read something that's set where my dad's family is from, that like I know a tiny bit about, so that's gonna be really fun. The next one I got was kind of a wild card because I couldn't explain why all of these descriptors together made me really want to read this book, so we'll see. But it was Cherries, Dancing, Spain, Romance, and Warm Humor. That just sounded like very intriguing to me when I was ordering these, so let's see what that was. Okay, this looks like a very similar cover, but I just checked and it's a different author to the last one I talked about. It's called Sunset Over the Cherry Orchard. Beautiful cover once again. Okay, so this is about a main character who sounds kind of similar. After 3 failed engagements, Betty is in desperate need of a fresh start, and what better place than the sun-drenched hills of southern Spain. It looks like she starts embracing the art of flamenco, which is a dance style that I've always admired, and I've always kind of wanted to try it. It just looks so fun and beautiful, and like the dancers who do it are just so talented. So I'm interested about this one. I'm a little bit nervous about it because I don't know if it's going to be one of those where like where it's almost like condescending about the country she's visiting, if that makes sense. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm curious. The next one I got is Professional Liars, Venetian Fantasy. That was a big one for me. Adventure, gritty, and flamboyant. As you guys have probably noticed with some other series I have talked about, like the Stravaganza books, I really, really love Italian-inspired fantasy, so that was kind of the main reason I was so interested in this one. It kind of sounds like a Sebastian de Castell book, and I don't own any of his books, so if that's what this ends up being, I would actually be really happy with that. Oh, okay. So I actually already own this book, but that's alright. I'll either exchange it or maybe I'll gift it to somebody. But it's The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch. So like, the weird thing, when I saw that description, instantly I thought of this book. Like, that's what it sounded like to me, even though I haven't gotten around to reading it yet. But then I was like, well, that's a really popular, well-known series, so I don't think they would like use that one since they say they try to do underhyped books. I don't know, maybe the series is like less well-known in the UK. Okay, just a few more. Heartfelt, profound fantasy, courage, healing, truth, young adult. And all of those things like together sounded like something really, really up my alley. And especially like the profound fantasy thing. Like that just sounds like something I would be really into because I really like that. I really like when authors use the fantasy genre to say something profound or to say something really meaningful, which I think a lot of fantasy authors do. So that's kind of why I was interested in this one. Oh, okay. I have read this one, but I don't own it. That is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I think a lot of people know about this one. It's about a boy named Connor, and his mother is really, really sick. She's dying, I think, of cancer. And he starts having visions or dreams or visitations by this this monster who tells him stories every night. And it's a story about grief and love and storytelling. Yeah, I have to say I did not fall in love with this like I know a lot of other people did. I don't know if I just read it at the wrong time or if by the time I read it I had so many high expectations of what it was going to be that I was just disappointed. Oh, and then this next one is Poldarkian, Cornwall Summer, Romance, Lighthearted, and Chicklet. Now this is actually the one that I did have kind of an idea of what it could be, but I decided that if it was a duplicate that I already have and that I've already read, I would be totally fine with having another copy because I want to gift it to somebody. Also, this is funny because Poldarkian, like I haven't watched that show, but I have kind of an idea of the vibe it has. So we'll see. Okay, and this is Summer at the Cornish Cafe by Philippa Ashley. And I thought, okay, the one that I was like, maybe I know what this is, I thought it was going to be A Sky Painted Gold by Laura Wood, which was one of my favorite books of last year. So I was like, not that upset about possibly having a copy to give to somebody, but I'm excited that it's something I haven't read. This looks like another one of those like fall in love over the course of a summer, and I'm ending up with a lot of like contemporary romance or like chicklet / general fiction kind of things, which I don't tend to read a lot, even though I have really enjoyed some that I've read. So this is great. I think it's going to kind of like open me to a, I don't know, a new genre or rediscover a genre. And then the last one I have is Reclusive Sorceress, Adventure, Mythical Creatures, Regal, and Award-Winning Fantasy. That's what the little blurbs on the front said for this one. So let's see what the last one is. Ooh, okay. The Forgotten Beasts of Eld by Patricia A. McKillop. This is a really interesting cover. Winner of the World Fantasy Award for Best Novel. And I have a couple of Patricia McKillop's books, but I haven't read them. Haven't gotten around to reading them yet, but I don't think I own this one. So it looks like it's about a great-granddaughter of a wizard, and she doesn't really care about humans until she ends up having to take care of a human baby or child, and then she inevitably gets tangled up in the human world. Okay, I'm very curious about this. What were the other descriptions on it? Reclusive Sorceress, Adventure, Mythical Creatures, Regal, Award-Winning Fantasy. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited about this one. Patricia McKillop has a ton of books I know out, and she's always seemed like an author I would be interested in, but like I haven't just picked up any of her books yet, so maybe this is a good one to start. It's really quick too, and I am intrigued by it. Okay, you guys, so that was my first, possibly not the last, experience with a blind date with a book. So out of 7 books I ordered, one of them is one I already own, and one of them is I have read. So I don't think that's too bad, actually. I mean, like, you think, okay, well, out of 7 books, you can only really read 5. But I think, like, the excitement of having books from genres that I don't read a lot, or like just like stories that I maybe wouldn't have picked up by myself, I think that's part of what you're paying for, and I don't really mind it. Like I said, I'm gonna maybe gift the other ones, or maybe I will try to do their exchange service. But overall, I was really, really happy with the service. The only thing I will say is, although it's great that they do international shipping, and that's not, like that's something I'm very grateful for, it is pretty expensive, which is to be expected. So I would recommend, if you guys do plan to order from there, maybe get together kind of a group order, like find at least one other person who wants to order some things too, and you guys can split the shipping costs, which is what I did. So let me know if you guys have read any of these books, like what you thought of them, or you know, which one sounds most interesting to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!